Hey everyone, Jane here from Attrell Toyota here in Brampton, and today I'm doing a bunch of little specialty videos for you guys. So if you haven't seen already, I have released an iPhone texting and pairing video, as well as an Android texting and pairing video. But I think that this might be the video that gets the most hits, as we are talking about our Entune system. So I do have a technology expert with me here today, Mr. Trent Sheldon.
Hi everyone.
And he's going to walk us through the entire Entune system. Now, if I have any questions, I'm going to talk over him. So this should be a fun video.
Oh, and bring on the questions. That's fine.
Also, if you guys have any questions, please feel free to leave comments in the section below, and we will try and answer them to the best of our ability, and or come down to 110 Canam Cres and come visit us, and we'll walk you through it in person. But let's go ahead with our Entune system here.
Okay, so the first thing you need to do is you actually, and you just saw my pattern, great.
Well, we're going to have some fun with Trent's phone today.
Okay, so in the iPhones, which I'm not familiar with, you go into your iStore or whatever it's called. But in the Android store, you just look up Entune, and there's 2 apps you want to download. And that's it. No further else. So, no further else. Entune, you want to install.
Which does not take long, normally.
Yeah, it's about 10 megabytes, so if you're on Wi-Fi or a good system, you could do it really quick.
There we go.
And then I'm going to go back, and I'm going to do the Scout GPS, which is going to be your map for the Entune system.
So pretty much all of these Entune vehicles do have the ability to have a navigation system, as long as you do download this Scout navigation app, regardless whether there's one built in or not.
So every car now has nav.
Awesome. Go Toyota, go!
Now, just like I'm doing here, when you use Entune, you will be using your phone's data. So just be aware of that.
Duly noted. And we're good.
Okay, so once everything gets installed, I'm actually going to open the Entune. Hold on. And then make sure you access, you allow, always allow things. And then hit Canada.
Eh?
Not Hawaii. And of course we're going to do what everyone does and read through the agreement and hit accept.
If someone has actually read through that, please comment. I would love to know if someone's read that whole thing.
Okay, I'm going to temporarily disconnect the Entune because I want to show you something on the phone screen. So I'm going to disconnect it. Now, when you first get in here, you'll notice actually Toyota's nice enough to say, hey, how do you work the app? Wish more apps had that. But anyway, 2 things to note. That you have all your app suite automatically. You do not need to download any other apps, unlike Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. So it's all there, your Slacker, the NPR one, the Yelp, the Sports, the Weather app, and we'll go through all of that. And then 2 of them though, and you'll see these little exclamation marks, that means they need subscriptions. So you can go online and go into Slacker and subscribe to it and make sure that you can play your music and everything like that. NPR one is like your podcasts. You're probably familiar with Yelp, and unfortunately we're all very familiar with the price of gas, and then we'll show you that later. So I'm going to reconnect.
You can also move your icons around on your actual device itself when you're in that screen. And then when it pops up on here, it will be in the same order as you see on your phone screen.
So I'm going to click into the apps, and there you go. If they're grayed out, that means you haven't connected your phone.
But we're full color, so let's go ahead and show them.
So I'm going to see what the weather's like today. Okay. By default, apparently we're getting the Fahrenheit. So to change it, you just click the Celsius Fahrenheit button. Now we know it's 25 degrees out.
Beautiful day in Brampton.
And as long as you had allowed it to use your location settings, it will automatically default to wherever you are today.
Awesome.
You can always change things though. So you can search, if I wanted to search where, you know.
Perry Sound, Cottage Country.
Oh, really? You're making me type out
Yeah.
Perry Sound?
I gotta check the weather. It is Friday, right?
Oh, it is. I'm not lucky enough to have a cottage.
You can come to my cottage, Trent.
All right, sounds good. And surprisingly enough, it's the same.
Woo!
All right, great.
Good weather up there too.
But let's see if Jane's gonna enjoy her. Oh, Jane.
Oh
You're gonna have some thunderstorms.
No
coming
cottage
soon.
weekend this weekend, I don't think, my friends.
Anyway, if you go to the apps, you have to press it twice. And here's something important to show you. So if I go into Slacker, for instance, it's going to tell me I don't have a subscription. But since it is an audio app, if I go into audio, it's going to bring up Slacker. So how the heck do I get back to my FM, AM, and things like that? Just press this twice.
There you go.
Now you can get back in.
Perfect.
Same thing applies for the apps. If for some reason, I'm trying to get into my apps, it won't let me. Press it twice. Now you're back in.
Perfect.
So some of the other functions we have here, and Slacker I can't show you because I don't have a subscription.
It is an awesome app though.
It's great. I mean, the search functions on it are fantastic. I looked up one of my daughter's groups, Caravan Palace. It found it. It was incredible. So NPR One, if you're a podcast person, love it. Yelp, we can just go into Yelp. We can find a review on a restaurant. We can use,
Ooh.
Wellington's Pub and Grill, and there's reviews for you, and you can actually call them right from this Yelp app.
Awesome. And it does say the price range too.
Yep. So right there, call, and you can even map it and then push it to your map.
Cool.
So it's pretty handy app. And then I'm gonna go back in. Whoops. Fuel. Fuel is gonna, we're all excited now about how much we're paying for gas, I know, but if I want to say the lowest, if I go by price, then I will drive that extra mile to save and pay only $1.28.
All right, we're gonna gas up there for sure.
All right, so that's the fuel. And if your car, very few of our cars take premium, but if you need to know what the premium price is, or mid-grade, or even diesel, you can find that as well.
Awesome.
And then a few other things. There are some sports. I know the Stanley Cup is still on, even though the Leafs got booted out by Boston.
Trent's a Boston fan, if you didn't get that sly comment.
Yeah. But you can set what sports you want to see, and you can see here, for instance, the upcoming games, whatever. You can also set your favorites. I'm going to set a favorite in NHL.
Of course. See what he's making me put up with?
There we go. So now Boston is my favorite. So if I pressed NHL in here, it would bring up anything Boston. Unfortunately, they're not in it anymore either.
Uh-huh.
So that is your sports. Traffic, very handy in the GTA. We're going to change this back to our current location.
That was simple. I like that.
And we can see there's all sorts of construction, accidents, and everything like that. If you want further details, you can just click on it and away you go.
Oh, perfect.
So lots of information there for you. And then the weather we did do.
Stocks.
You can create a stock portfolio and watch your stocks.
While you're driving to the cottage.
No. But anyway, so that is some of the more interesting features. But in a world, oh, there I go with my movie voice. In a world where maps are confusing, the most important one that everyone wants to know about is Scout. We're actually setting up the nav or GPS or maps or whatever you want to call it.
Scout.
That's the official name for this one, but okay. So you'll see it says I'm almost there. I just have to finish setting it up. It's a one-time thing. So there is a subscription to the Scout, unlike the other apps. So I'm just going to, apparently I can't work my own phone. And we saw my pattern again. There we go. Connect to my car. I wish I had a Lexus, but it's a Toyota.
Hey, this Camry is just as nice as a Lexus.
It is. So hit next. And the really cool thing about Scout GPS is it stays on my phone. I'm not going to create an account with my email right now, but if you do have personalization, it'll do walking routes and everything too.
Cool.
Which is really neat. So I just said, use whatever. So it's downloading the files. And then this is all my phone does.
Awesome.
And now I'm here.
Cool.
The really cool thing about the whole Entune suite is you'll notice I haven't attached the cord yet.
No cord.
At all.
Da, 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 da.
In fact, you can still use the GPS without a cord. So unlike Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, personally I'm familiar with Android Auto and I've burnt through, about 5 cords. We are going to have a really good weekend.
Keep this cottage theme going.
At the cottage. So it's as simple as this. If I say go, it's going to give me turn-by-turn instructions. There is no map without...
In 300 meters, turn right to Vancouver Drive.
You can always mute that guy by pressing this. And also, we are having fun with this right now, but definitely, guys, no drinking and driving, all right?
But if I want a map...
Instead of just the directional?
All I have to do is plug in the cord. And I am going to say okay. And voila.
And there you go.
Now I have a map as well.
You actually have both, which is pretty awesome.
Yep. So, great system. Works pretty well. Anyone that's used Google Maps, Waze, Apple Maps, very familiar system. Wouldn't take much of a learning curve at all to do anything like this. So I'm just going to end this, cancel the route guidance. What's really cool about all of our apps is so far you've seen me poking and prodding on this screen. But I can also use the voice recognition on all of them.
Cool. Which is just down here, guys. Again, if you don't know that one.
So if you just press the button and I'm going to say, you have to launch the app first. So let's say launch Scout.
Before you start, consider viewing the available video
Actually, this is a cool thing. You should
or
do
voice
it.
training.
But for now. Launch Scout GPS.
Launching Scout GPS link.
As you guys can tell, the voice recognition works very, very well.
Say an address or the name of a point of interest.
Find Tim Hortons.
Say the list number of the one you want. Say next page for more items.
2.
Showing details for Tim Hortons.
You gonna go
You
give me a
can
Tim
say
Hortons now?
call. Go there or add to favorites.
He's nodding, just so you all know.
Yes, we're on video. The tech expert is nodding for video. Okay. Thank you. Anyway, we could even call there. So if you're going to some place that has takeout, you can call in advance and everything like that. So it's really kind of neat, and a lot of things are interconnected. And
Sorry, I missed that.
I'm sorry.
I thought we were talking to it. It's okay.
And I'm getting a cord error because, again, this is probably my 6th cord that I've burnt through.
A lot of these systems, guys, need a good cord. So if you do go to, say, like one of those just convenience stores and have a $2 cord versus a $10 cord, I would buy the $10 cord, as it does allow more information to pass from the actual phone to the car itself. Or if you do get one with your phone, so the actual Android cord or the iPhone cord, definitely use that one.
Actually, on iPhones in particular, they are really finicky. So please use an actual iPhone cord.
They do work the best, for sure.
But for the most part, you don't need the cord.
Awesome.
Beautiful thing of Entune.
Perfect.
All
So
right.
there you go, guys. If you have any more questions about our Entune system, like I said, please feel free to leave a comment in the section below and we will try and answer it to the best of our ability. Well, thank you so much, Trent.
I'll see you for the next one.
Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great one.